Hey guys, I wanted to go over how well this beast comp has been performing on ladder in this video. So here we have some beasts roaming around in their nature habitat. We have a very standard Rexar Crush Mukla frontline with very standard items being Mama Bear's Claw, Flaming Claw, and Mukla's big brother. We do have a very interesting backline of Malfurion Cookie Brucon. After playing the Malfurion Anduin Mukla comp, I realized how strong this nature synergy can be, even when thrown into just about any deck. We do have nature abilities on Mukla, who's likely to stick around due to King Crush being more likely to get focused. We have a fairly standard item set on our backline as well, being Life Root Staff, Malfurion, Appetizer's Cookie, and Lightning Rod Brucon. The Beast Opener is extremely aggressive, able to do 80 damage to any caster using Kill Command and Apex Predator. 80 is a very important number, because it is enough to one-shot most opening casters in the game. Even if the opponent is running a cookie of their own, you can always send in Mukla's big brother for 16 damage, hitting any caster for 96 on turn 1. The Beast Opener also has the potential to get a turn 1 kill on Samuro due to Mukla's super effectiveness, which can be very important in the current meta. We have a very balanced 2 fighters, 2 protectors, and 2 casters to try and hedge against a more balanced comp, not having any matchup being significantly unfavorable. I'm going to show you guys a beast mirror, as well as a very meta Nature Samuro comp I ran into on ladder. Let's get right into those so I can show you guys how these synergies work in action, because I feel that's much more beneficial than trying to explain it all without showing how it actually interacts.
Alright, so in this game we're going to be going up against the very meta Nature Samuro comp. It's becoming more and more common, and as we're seeing the Shadow Samuro comp become less relevant. What we're going to want to do here is throw our Mukla at the Samuro. We're going to want to try and kill command Apex Predator into the Brucon, but it's more than likely that he's going to muddy footing the Rexar to kind of throw off our combo here. So what we're going to really be trying to do is kill off the Samuro, because it's going to be taking 32 damage from attacking into Mukla's big brother. Alright, so we see the big brother go down. Our King Crush does end up going into Samuro because he stalled the timing on the kill command, but this does leave King Mukla there to finish up and clean up the Samuro. The problem with this is that we're actually very unfavored going into turn 2 as Beast, because he's going to drop the Cairn almost every time. This is going to deal 20 damage to King Crush and Rexar at 2 speed, as well as the Wrath having super effective damage as well, so Beast doesn't do too well going into turn 2 here. But we're going to see how hard our backline can kind of carry us through the game, even after our beasts are off the board. Alright, so we're going to opt to go for Devilsaur here, because we know that he's more likely than not going to root our King Crush, because he's already going to be faster from the Earth Speed slow going into the next turn. So we want to be able to make sure that we use an ability with our King Crush, rather than just not attacking because of the root. Alright, so yeah, we see the root come out here like we talked about. We're going to go for the Devilsaur to get around that, kind of still get some damage in even though we're not able to attack this turn. And then we're going to send everything else at the Brucon. We want to get that down as fast as possible because it's just going to continue to scale his nature damage with that Lightning Bolt. Alright, so again this turn we're going to attempt to send everything at Brucon. We know we're kind of doomed here just because he has the speed advantage going into this turn. He's basically going to get to be able to kill off whatever he wants before we're even able to act. So our beasts aren't going to do too well here, but we're definitely going to see how our backline can clean this up. Alright, so yeah, he did go for Endurance Aura here. I didn't think he had to because everything's already slower than his Ancestral Uppercut, so I think that was a little bit of a misplay there, but regardless, as you can see, our entire board gets taken down, only leaving Rexar. We would have even preferred to not have Rexar on board going into this, so we can start really panning out our nature synergies, but that's okay. Alright, so I was deciding for a while here whether to put out the Malfurion or the Cookie. I ended up opting with Malfurion just to start getting that Wrath speed going, as well as some of the healing from his item. Alright, so we end up bringing down our Malfurion and our Brucon here. We're really going to want to start getting that speed going with the Wrath and our nature abilities, as well as Lightning Bolting to kind of ramp up our nature damage. I do go for Explosive Shot here with Rexar, but I pretty much know that it's going to die before it's able to act because of its 2-speed Earth Stomp, but I figured I might as well go for Explosive Shot in case it lived. Alright, so yeah, like I said, we see Rexar go down here at the 2-speed Earth Stomp, goes for the Lightning Bolt. We're going to get that speed with our Wrath going, as well as Lightning Bolt for the nature damage, because we have Cookie coming in next turn. He opts for the heal here on Malfurion. I honestly don't know if that's the right play, because this nature speed is so important right now, considering we're both playing nature synergies. Us being faster than him is definitely going to be crucial to winning this game. Alright, so here we're going to continue that Wrath chain, keeping our nature abilities as fast as we can. We're going to go for Chain Lightning, try and get off some big damage on that Malfurion. I was hoping to hit the 50-50 to Chain Lightning, bouncing over to this Malfurion twice to try and get it out of the way. So we'll see if that works. Alright, so sending everything at Malfurion here. Cookie comes in for 26 damage. The reason we sent Wrath at Burkhan instead of Malfurion is because if the Chain Lightning does bounce back onto the Malfurion, it's dead regardless of if we Wrath it or not. So we were really banking on this 50-50. Luckily we do get it. This is huge because his nature abilities aren't going to be faster anymore next turn from his Wrath chain. So we're really going to push ahead on speed tempo here, and we'll see how that works. Alright, so the opponent opts to bring out the Diablo here. The only real threat left on board is this Brucon, so we want to get that out of the way as fast as possible. What you're also going to see this game is that there was a recent hotfix to Karen, to where he's no longer able to act after he dies and turns into his reincarnated form. So you're going to see us kind of use that to our advantage, trying to pull off as many Cookie death blows as we can, and not letting his Karen act for the turn later in the game. Alright, so what we end up deciding to do here is send our Cookie and Brucon at the opponent's Brucon, really get that last threat off the board, not letting him Chain Lightning into our Malfurion. And we want to go for our heal on Malfurion here. We want to keep him around for as long as possible because of that nature speed chain with Wrath, as well as the constant healing from his item is super important to keep for as long as we can. Alright, so yeah, we see the Cookie come out. What we're going to see here is exactly how strong it is having this Wrath speed chain. We're able to kill this Karen before he acts here, as well as we're going to set up a death blow the following turn as well, giving us an extra 45 health. So what you're going to see me do is I'm going to change my mind and target this Wrath at the reincarnated body of Karen, setting up for a death blow from Cookie on the following turn, guaranteed at 0 speed. Alright, so we send Cookie and Brucon at the Karen here with that super effective damage, taking down his first form. And then we're going to send Wrath at the reincarnated body to set up that death blow for Cookie the next turn. And then from there, our units are going to have so much health that he's never able to kill this Malfurion. Even though he's been trying for so many turns, this constant healing has been able to keep him alive the entire time. Alright, so we're going for our death blow here. We are going to finally fire off the Chain Lightning. We have enough nature damage at this point. We're down to the 2 mercs that we want to target. We can see this Wrath doing mass amounts of damage to Diablo with that super effectiveness. 32 damage here, and the Chain Lightning dealing a total of 88. Alright, so what we're going to do this turn is slow down the Cookie with Muddy Footing, making his death blow be at 8 speed, so being slower than all of my units. And we're basically just going to try to kill that Cookie before he has a possibility to act. And the healing on Malfurion is going to bring him out of the range of a Diablo kill for yet another turn. So at this point, we've basically won the game. Alright, so we're going to see everything sent at Cookie, slow it down to a total of 8 speed, being slower than our Malfurion. As you can see, our Malfurion, even if the Diablo would have won this 50-50, our Malfurion still would have lived until the end of the game. So it's just so strong having this constant healing. As you can see him leaving the game from there. It was over a couple turns ago, but yeah. Alright, so here we have the Beast Mirror. What you're going to want to do, pretty much every mirror, is focus down the King Crush. This is definitely going to be the biggest threat coming out of Beast. Everything else is kind of made around King Crush to support him to carry the comp. So you definitely want to get him out of the way as soon as possible. Just throw everything at it. We really want to get rid of that turn 1. Alright, so yeah, we see Kill Command. We're going to send in Mookla's big brother and then go for the Apex Predator. His King Crush will attack back. Yeah, so as we see here, we're both at 6 health. Go ahead and finish off his King Crush. Alright, so he does go into our Rexar, which is interesting, because even if he drops the Cairn, he can't... I mean, he can go for Earth Stomp, but then we get a Terrify off, which will deal 31 damage. Actually, 36 if we want to summon an Animal Companion with Rexar as well. So you might have to go for Endurance Aura. I'm not too sure about this play here. Alright, so we're going to throw our Mukla at his Rexar just for that super effective damage. Throw an Explosive Shot in the middle, just maximize our damage output this turn. Everything he has is super healthy. We definitely don't have any chance of killing anything, so we just want to get some damage to set up for future turns. Okay, so yeah, he does go for the Endurance Aura. He kills our King Crush before he can act, which is kind of nice for him, but he also doesn't get the Earth Stomp off. Alright, so I was deciding for a while here between Malfurion or Brucon. I did end up going with Malfurion, just because I don't think we're quite ready to fire off a Chain Lightning, and Brucon's fairly weak in this position without the Malfurion support if we're not going to be going for Chain Lightning. So we're just going to try and set up some damage, possibly set up some Cookie Death Blows in the future. Alright, so this turn we're going to end up throwing everything we have at Cairn. The reason being is we want to get him as low as possible so we have that interaction of being able to kill him and do his reincarnation before he's able to act. So we just want to make sure he stays low so we always have the possibility of being able to kill him before he can act. Yeah, so we get him down to 10 HP here. It sets up for a possible Cookie Death Blow in the future. Alright, so this turn we're going to get the taunt down on Mukla. We definitely did not want Malfurion taking another hit from the opponent's Mukla. We're definitely not ready to lose Malfurion yet. We still got the entire nature backline to go through. The reason why we explosive shot the middle and we don't actually kill the Cairn is because, like I said, we want to keep that Cairn on board at low health. So we always have the opportunity to kill it before it can act, kind of invalidate its turn. So we leave it here at 7 HP. Cookie may seem very strong here to get the death blow and the 45 health, but what I actually opted for was Brucon because I think this is the best that Chain Lightning is going to get throughout the entire game. He has his last two protectors left on board, and I just think that's going to be stronger than Cookie's death blow here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Wrath the first form of this Cairn, making it not be able to Earth Stomp this turn, and then we're going to go into the Chain Lightning on the Mukla. We're kind of hoping that it bounces to the Cairn. Yeah, so it does bounce to the Cairn, which is really nice because we have that kill command coming in before Mukla is able to attack. And now we have the Cairn back at 8 HP, so we can deny it another turn. As well as we have just the entire speed momentum going in our favor, so we're able to kind of clean up these low health mercs left on the board before they're able to act. While we're healing up with Malfurion, so this is actually going to be some big health gain because he doesn't have very much tempo with our speed manipulation. Alright, so we definitely have the speed manipulation tempo going forward for us. What we're going to do here is we're going to Wrath the Cairn before it can act, kind of invalidating that turn, as well as Lightning Bolting the Rexar. So the only two things that he's going to have a possibility to act with are the Huffer and the Diablo. What I end up doing here is going for a Animal Companion Misha to try and get a 50-50 to block this incoming Huffer attack. And then, yeah, we're just going to kill off the Cairn and the Rexar before they can act. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Yeah, go for the Misha. Get that Wrath off on Cairn before it can act, as well as Lightning Bolt on Rexar. See if we win this 50-50 against Huffer. Yeah, so he ends up getting to attack first, which is unfortunate. We wanted that Misha to go off first, so we didn't take that 21 damage. But it's honestly fine. We're looking way ahead here. We got 4 mercs left to his 2. We got a scaling Brucon, as well as our speed manipulation with Malfurion, so it's looking pretty good from here. Alright, so I choose to throw everything at Diablo here, just because we know Malfurion has the super effective damage. So Diablo will die about the same time as Cookie when we throw everything at it, and I believe it's more of a threat than Cookie. Yeah, so he does make a mistake here. He goes for the Fish Feast on the Misha, knowing that we have a 1-speed Wrath. I don't know why we wouldn't go for that, as well as the 1-speed Muddy Footing if we would have chosen to. I've seen a lot of people misplay against the Nature comp, it's kind of like a test of the player, honestly, because there's a lot of math and calculation that goes into it, keeping up with what speed the nature units are at with Wrath, as well as how much health they're going to gain per cast with Malfurion. So I've experienced a lot of people messing up with this cookie death blow and different interactions and calculations. Really take your time if you're facing these nature comps, guys. The speed and the healing is very important to calculate into your plays. Alright, so the play we go for here is throwing the Muddy Footing and the Wrath into the Diablo. The reason we do this is we're going to be able to kill it before it can act with the explosive shot, and it's still able to target the cookie, so we just get mass amounts of damage. We're going to be able to Muddy Footing the following turn as well, so he's not even going to be able to Deathblow our Malfurion. So yes, just over from here, obviously.